All right, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm gonna give it a few more seconds here while everybody joins, and we'll get started. All right, looks like the numbers stopped growing for people joining. Good afternoon. Good Wednesday afternoon to everyone joining. My name is Josh, software support engineer here for MzeroManage, Meridian Kiosks. Hope everyone's doing great today. Um, I will preface this with sorry I cannot do the demo today. I know last week we had that wonderful demo that everybody was very happy to see. Uh, if you have not already seen, if you're a current customer, we are just wrapping up some outage issues. There were some authentication issues, connection issues that's being cleared up right now. If you submitted a ticket, we're getting to you as fast as we can. Just want to let everybody know we're aware it's being worked on, and our engineers are plugging away, fingers going fast on the keyboard to get it fixed. So uh, no uh, demonstration today, but we will still go through the presentation. So welcome again. We're going to be talking about MzeroManage and specifically its integration with the Personnel Management Kiosk. What is Personnel Management Kiosk? The Meridian Personnel Management Kiosk is a one-stop shop for temperature taking, logging, and the facial recognition of employees, students, family, friends, wherever you might deploy this device. Here on the screen, got a couple different models. If you're familiar with the physical device, sit back and relax. We're just going to go through the motions here. So if you're new to this, if you're curious as to what this is, why you might need this, this is a temperature taking device. This is a hands-off, hands-free temperature taking device. A user will be able to walk up to the kiosk within proximity of the kiosk, have their temperature taken. It will actually record that event. It will log that event. Should there be a face associated to a facial database with a particular individual, it will make a facial recognition match, and that event will be timestamp logged along with their temperature. You can save a numerical value. You can just say, hey, pass, fail, on a preset, predetermined, user-defined threshold. A couple different models options here offered. The pedestal mount, which is your standard height, average adult height, fits most people about 6'3", 6'2", about 5.5 feet tall, roughly. Pedestal mount, clean, all fabricated here at Meridian. Clean pedestal mount, the head unit for the PMK, the actual temperature taking device, along with the LCD LED screen featured here. We do have a child height. Saw a couple of these walking through the fab shop earlier today. Very neat, very good for learning institutions, anywhere you might have anyone who's height challenged, vertically challenged, someone who's a little shorter than the rest of the crowd. This is great. I've also heard great feedback from individuals and customers that have this in the field, in nursing homes, in senior care facilities, and in healthcare facilities where individuals are confined to a walker or a wheelchair. Uh, they have seen great results with the child height kiosk. Next model up, we've got a pedestal with LED. Very similar to the regular pedestal. This does feature an additional relay as well as a fancy, pretty bright colored LED ring that will illuminate green upon successful temperature and a successful entry, and then red upon a high temperature or a denied entry. I will note with those LEDs, those can be configured to be a monochrome. So if you don't want green and red to essentially show up, or someone, oh, I got a good temperature, or in the case of a bad temperature to draw attention to it, you can disable that. The countertop model, great for reception areas, great for any application where height might need to be changed, or one day it's going to be up front, one day it needs to be at the back door, or you're demoing it out at your company. Definitely recommend the countertop. And if space and form factor is your key and it's what you're looking for to purchase, there is a wall mountable. I'm putting letters in there. Wall mountable version of the kiosk, so you can affix that to a wall and free up some floor space, do some cable management, make it look nice and pretty. What are we talking about? We're talking about MzeroManage. MzeroManage is a cloud-based platform. The cloud-based platform, specifically in how it relates to the Personnel Management Kiosk, gives you a centralized location to manage those kiosks, whether it be a setting change, whether you have 10 kiosks in your building or in your group, and you need to see all 10 kiosk scans at once, or you need to pull reports from all 10 kiosks in your organization. Maybe it's across the country, maybe it's across the world. International customers welcome. So yeah, the Personnel Management Kiosk, the MzeroManage software, is just that. It gives you one centralized location to manage these devices, to make setting changes to these devices, add your personnel to it. So if you are using the facial recognition feature to log and verify that individuals within your organization are indeed stopping and scanning in, then boom, one place, upload 10 employees, upload 10,000 employees. MzeroManage is the tool for you. I People have one kiosk and get MzeroManage and love it because it gives them ability to have a dashboard. They don't have to go up and interact with a device. It's just nice to have that kind of laissez-faire, the hands-free, hands-off ability to take care of these setting changes. So I've touched on a lot of these features and capabilities. We're just going to go down the list here and kind of elaborate a little bit on there. We talked about uploading a list of employees. So yes, you get a face database, you get a personnel database where you can enroll your users, whether it be a school, whether it be a doctor's office, medical facility, or manufacturing facility, whatever your employee set, whatever your record set, whomever you need to make sure John's face with this scan at this time, you've got the ability to upload your staff and people in there. Logging of temperatures, big one. That's what a lot of people are concerned about, in these uncertain times and with the current global pandemic, etc. Well, we need to make sure we've got a log of those temperatures, whether it's to ensure everyone's checking in and maintaining safe and healthy environment, or if it's just for auditing purposes, that's where that log's at. Email alerts. Someone scans in up front, you're on the third floor, and you need to know about it. They scan in, they have an elevated temperature, you'll get an email alert. You can subscribe and set those up. You'll be notified when within seconds, depending on your network speed, of course, but within seconds of individual scanning in and having that recorded, boom, you'll get an email alert. On that note too, if you're a Chrome user, it's very neat. You can actually activate what they call the Chrome desktop notifications. It does work with Chrome and HTML5 to provide a desktop notification. You can, as long as you've got cookies enabled, you can have the site closed and you can still get a desktop notification. It'll tell you, hey, someone scanned in here. They have elevated temperature. Next, retrieving reports. So the entry report, we'll talk about that. If I had the example up, you'd see it, but the entry report, all those scans gives you a graphical user interface, a nice colorful interface to interact with. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you don't like pretty pictures and being able to search. You can export these reports as a CSV. For all my Excel junkies and my Excel wizards out there, that might be your route. You need to export that data, and then from there you can control it, format it, pivot tables, whatever floats your boat. Also, you get a ability to view those temperatures and scans and images on a dashboard, so you can actually see some of those scans come through in real time as you're sitting there managing or watching in the morning as employees are coming in. You can check to see it is online, did it has it phoned home, did it connect to the server, You can change some settings and configurations on the device, multiple devices at once with the click of a button. Being able to group the kiosks up, as well as some data concern or privacy concerns about data being stored on the local device. When you marry and pair your kiosk with MzeroManage, you do have an option or the ability to switch off storing of a locally kept temperature, and that will only send a pass fail. So it'll be like a true, false, good, bad to the cloud. And it will not store that data on the kiosk. So if you're worried about someone running into your office real quick and grabbing it, running out the door, no worries. Okay. Facial recognition is one of the other large portions of the device, and of course another large section of MzeroManage. So a couple things about using facial recognition. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, it would be this: the better the photo you can feed the facial recognition algorithm, the more accurate, the faster, and the least amount of false positives that you will get. When it comes down to taking the photographs, if you're using an older data set, whether it be employee badges, etc., it might not always be in the right format. This nice smiling individual right here, any of my photography nuts are going to know the rule of thirds. So if you see this image is divided into thirds, we need to get the head, the face, the neck, the chin, the ears, all the points in between to the crown of the head, to the top of the head. And you split that up in the rule of thirds. This is a pretty good example right here with the chin being captured in here, the mouth kind of on the cusp of these two sections. I got my eyes and my nose and my cheeks and this gentleman's dimples right here on the photograph in the dead center third. And then last but not least, the top center. Couple of other notes on uploading images. Excessive amounts of hair in the face. If ladies have bangs, and some of the guys with longer hair too, if you've got bangs in your face, we do recommend that not only during scanning, you either not remove, you pull the bangs away from your face. Don't obstruct your face. We want to see your face. We want to see your smile. The algorithm's going to behave a lot better if you don't have all that extra data, for lack of better words, in the photograph. So a couple things. Currently, it only will support a JPEG or PNG portable network graphic. That's for uploading the photos manually. That's for doing a bulk upload. Bulk upload is if you want to upload the entire face database, you can put the names, personnel ID, employee number, etc. into a CSV file, and then you can actually zip up the images associated with that personnel ID number, name the image personnel ID number .jpeg or .png, zip it up, and upload everything in a couple of clicks. Image size. So the physical pixel size, we don't need you to go out and buy a very expensive DSLR camera. By all means, no. A decent laptop webcam will work. It's all about the pixel size and the subject in the photo. If we got a good headshot, a good passport style photo, and it does not exceed 4,000 pixels by 2,600 pixels, you're good to go. It does not exceed 500 kilobytes in size, you're good to go. Example here is 675 pixels by 1,024 pixels tall. That's fine. That image will work because the only details in here is this gentleman's face. That's what we need. No tilting, no glamour shots, no looking over the shoulder, no head tilted to the side, like the RCA dogs where the head's cocked to the side. We want it facing straight, completely parallel to the ground, looking straight into the camera lens. No noisy backgrounds, no other people in the backgrounds. If you don't have a green screen or a blue screen, that's fine. We don't expect you to go out and get that, have to take 20, 30, 200 pictures. a plain, simple wall, a gray, a flat matte paint, a white brick wall. Um, any of those will work for you for sure. Um, don't go in front of like a paisley print wallpaper and take your staff photos. Trust me, it's gonna be harder on you in the long run. Last but not least, no more than 20,000 unique faces in the database. That's per kiosk. That's on the whole database as a total. So if you have more than 20,000 individuals in your organization that you need to have their faces recognized, feel free to reach out to someone here and we can tell you how we can split that up. But for the most part, 20,000 unique faces. So you already saw this. My mouse clicked on me early. Getting you set up, getting you started. Maybe you want to buy. Maybe you just want to. You're one of these. I want to look at it on my own. Hey, I like Josh. He talks on the webinar. He's a nice guy. I hope you're saying that. But no. So you want to do this on your own. You want to. You want to sit. You research it. It's just like buying a car. You got to sit there and look it up, look at consumer reports, et cetera, et cetera. Our video library and our knowledge base are free to access. MeridianKiosks.com. If you look at the personnel management page, you'll see a FAQ under the drop-down menu. So go to the frequently asked questions, look through the resources. There's pictures, there's videos. If you don't like pictures and videos, you want to read, there's text-based articles, a bunch of great resources available for you as a customer, as a potential customer, someone who's demoing, trying it out. We've got that for you. So MzeroManage, there's two portals. There's a managed server, which is the black and green screen you're seeing here. That is for your more technical administrative user. If you're adding groups, if you're adding a new kiosk, this is where you're going to go. If you're subscribing your users or yourself to an email alert, this is the portal that you're going to access to accomplish those tasks. Same thing with pulling communication / connection reports. This is the portal for you. About 5 to 10% of your experience with the kiosk is going to take place here. The fun side is the MzeroManage view. This is where your dashboard lives. This is where you can watch the pictures come through in real time. This is where the reports are pulled. This is where the reports are viewed. This is where application settings are placed. This is where you can put your company logo in on the front of the device. So when someone walks up and scans in the lower right-hand corner, you can have your logo. Do a little personalization. Make it yours. This is where you can do both the bulk upload as well as individual record upload. Or let's say you've already got 300 employees added to MzeroManage Cloud Employee Database, and Mike just has a bad picture, and we need to change Mike's picture. So you can edit just his picture, or, oh, he got a new email, or his employee ID number changed. You can make those changes record by record. You don't have to do a complete re-upload or delete everything. It gives you a little bit more control over your data set. So current customers and specifically new customers, potential customers, we offer onboarding packages. What is an onboarding package? Onboarding package is an hour that you get to spend with a member of our team. You might get lucky, you might get me, you might get hang out for an hour. And what we'll do is we will walk and talk you through the setup of your device. We'll help you get it added to manage. We'll help you go through any updates if you've had issues. We'll go through adding that device and getting it to communicate. Go over setting up the email alerts. We'll go over adding a couple of records, maybe some employees. Maybe you've already prepared your bulk upload. That is one of the ways for sure to get some one-on-one assistance. As well as onboarding, there are training sessions. I believe there are 20-minute training sessions where if you don't need an hour or there's just a couple things you want to go through, training sessions are available. Additional support packages. Those should be available depending on your authorized reseller or distributor. They should be available. Please reach out to them if you'd like to purchase an additional support package. That includes a few bonuses slash benefits of, if you have a issue, if someone kicks over a kiosk, it's damaged, return, it's to save you a little bit of a hassle on shipping and expediting things, as well as after hours support. If you run a 24-hour operation and you're worried about, oh, it's going to be 4 a.m. We've had some clients from hospitals saying it's a hospital. If anything silly is going to happen, if anything's going to break, it's going to be at 3 a.m. on a Sunday. So as someone who's been in support for a long time, I know how that goes. Visa credit cards go out at 4 in the morning or noon, right in the middle of the lunch rush on the East Coast United States. That seems to be when things will go wrong for sure. So those extended support packages, etc. Um, this would be where I would take you through a demonstration, but I'm still waiting for my new demo account to be configured and set up, stemming from some of the issues we were having earlier today, which I believe they are still working on 100% completion and restoration of any issues that may be latent. Let's see, I'll check for update. So at this time, I'm going to just silence myself for a few seconds. We'll let some questions come in, and then I will answer those questions. All right, got a question here. What are the laws that regulate the storage of facial recognition data and temperature data? Spencer, that's probably going to be a good question either for your local municipality, your state, local government. If you're an international client, your specific rulings over that. And the only thing I can think of offhand would be the California Consumer Protection Act. Maybe I think it's something like that. Forgive me, I'm a North Carolina native, been to Cali a few times, but I'm not sure what the name is. I know there's some C's and P's in there. Same thing goes with HIPAA. We do have features in there to allow you to limit what data, specifically the numerical value associated with the temperature. So if having a face, a name, and a numerical temperature value of, let's say, 98.3 or 98.9 is a violation, we do have the ability for you to take off the numerical value and just send a pass fail. Um, Also, there's nothing forcing you to enroll people using the facial recognition software. You can use it in what we call guest or stranger mode, to which individuals will still have their picture taken, but no pre-selected personal data will be transmitted or recorded. That would be up to you within your organization, within your local municipalities, governments, etc. Let's see. All right, so our companies had serious issues uploading employee and guest photos to the cloud. Is there an option to just send the data and keep the source photos on the kiosk? So there is an update that's being tested and finalized right now that will allow you to push the photos from the kiosk and the records from any kiosk to the cloud and vice versa and synchronize it. That last I checked a couple days ago, that was still in QA testing. So that is coming. Now, Peter, if you are having issues with it, feel free to open up a ticket, because most of these bulk upload issues is something very simple. It's usually a nested folder within the zip file, or there's a comma where there shouldn't be, etc. So if you've already got a account through the help desk, go ahead and open a ticket, attach whatever information you feel comfortable to attach, or if we need to set up a time to sort that out, we'll be happy to take a look at it. I, at this point, can look at a CSV file or a zip file within a few seconds and tell what's wrong. Let's see. Has kiosk software been updated to display QR codes? We are using the Clear 2 app. If you are using the Clear 2 app, you should be able to reach out to one of the gentlemen there. They should have, there's a special form of software that's used for that, specifically designed for them. Reach out to them. If they have trouble locating that application update, they'll reach out to us here at Meridian. But you do need something special if you're using the Clear 2 app. I know that for sure. But jumping off of that, Good question, Harold. Jumping off of that, there is another software firmware update for the device that will eventually allow some form of QR code. It's like I said, still being tested. There are a couple of unique scenarios with vendors and software partners of ours that have been developed. But as far as across the board, that still has to go through QA testing. I have some devices. I have some devices in MzeroManage personnel, but it's not pulling anything in the entry report. Can you show me what I should be seeing, Doug? So you should see any scans that are coming through there. Now, I don't know if this could be related to the incident yesterday and today with some database connection issues. However, it probably best you just go ahead and open a support ticket. If you go to FAQs, same place where you look through resources, you'll see a link for the Meridian Help Desk, or you can call the 1-800 number on the bottom of the support sheet. It's also on the website. Probably best for us to pop in there. It's like, again, it's one of these things where there's a setting or a misclick that we can take a look at and adjust. But yeah, any issues today with data flowing, it could be there. Okay, question. So there's no federal laws about that. To my knowledge, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't speak on that. However, I do know there's some literature both included with the device and online that will outline anything regarding to federal regulations. All right, is the temperature 100% accurate or is it ballpark? Well, it's as accurate as a external temperature can be. Of course, the medical professional is going to tell you that you need to take an internal temperature. Um, we all know where we're going with that. But no, so yeah, with the as far as contactless, what it does is it takes the temperature on several areas of the face, sometimes of the body, and it does take an average of those. Can you update email temperature notifications so they list the name of the person who had elevated temperature? Yes, that is in process. So there's a couple different things with that. That the reason there's not a picture or a name in there was going back to a couple of the previous questions with some privacy concerns, specifically the state of California. And some of the data being sent through there. If email originates outside of a company's email domain, is it covered by the protections, et cetera, et cetera. So one thing too that we would say on that is there will be the addition of a hyperlink in those email updates, so you can click login and it'll take you directly to the problem temperature. When any of these updates, big or small, come out, we do send out what's one of our update email blasts. So all administrators on file will get a copy of that added bonus, added feature. All right, so we don't have an issue with uploading. We want data to go to the cloud. We only want to keep the photos on the kiosk. Let's see, Peter. I'm not sure what Pete, go ahead and open up a support ticket because I think we'll just have to look at that with you, for lack of better words. I think I have ideas what you want to happen, but one of our technicians here can figure that out for sure and get you directed to the right setting. We've had some issues with incorrect temperature readings. Let's see, is there anything we can do to produce more accurate temperature readings? So a lot of the temperature readings, especially in the northern hemisphere right now for international listeners, we do have temperatures changing. A lot of these factors that can affect temperature changing are the compensation. So the device has a built-in automatic compensation. It will take about 10 minutes upon a successful reboot, and it will acclimate itself to the ambient temperature, and it will try to calibrate as best it can. We do have the ability, or the device does have the ability, to allow you to manually test it. So, for lack of better words, we could essentially say if you took a external temperature with a hand thermometer and it shows you being, I don't know, 0.8 degrees off, you could adjust the compensation for the device to be off, to be higher or lower by the amount of degrees you are off on the device. Is the data saved perpetually or is it erased after a set time? In regards to the device, once you hit a gigabyte of local storage, those records will start to revolve. So oldest record removed and replaced with the newest scan record. As far as the cloud, there is a 90-day data retention policy. So 1 gigabyte, how many ever pictures or scans you have, that equals a gigabyte on the device, 90 days in the cloud. How many email addresses can we use? Is this session available later? Yes, okay, first of all, the webinars, I think it takes about 2 hours or so for it to process. Once it processes, they will be available in, at, or around the area that you signed up for the webinar. I had to think of what's going on there. How many email addresses can be used? Or if you're referring to the alerts, as many as you want. Now, get alerts, they have to be users. One quick thing I wanted to mention to a workaround for that, if you were to create a distribution list, like, I don't know, temperature alerts at tomsbusiness.com, we could subscribe that email address to receive temperature alerts. And then that email address would forward to your Active Directory email server or whichever mail client you're using, whichever mail service you're using. That could become a distribution list, to which if you need to manage that, you could manage that within Active Directory, etc. So that's kind of an unlimited number, depending on how you, what perspective you're looking at it from. Let's see. Oh, can you please restate the video resource web location? Yes. So if you go to meridiankiosks.com, I'll do it with you. So let me. You'll see across the top the menus. Go to Personnel Management Kiosk. There's a little drop-down menu. Under there, you'll find the FAQs, which is mostly text-based. There are some video links. You'll see information about the PMK software. Give you some webinar links. You'll see past webinars, and then at the bottom of that, you'll see some more YouTube-based videos. So Personnel Management Kiosk, go to FAQs, and go to the PMK software, MzeroManage, as well as resources. I would say start at the top at features, go through that, go through FAQs, go through the PMK software, MzeroManage, go through the resources. And if you just like listening to me talk, you can go back through past webinars too. Any of those resources will probably help you find something you were looking for. I saw something about a mask mode. Could you describe it? Yes, mask mode is essentially a setting on the device that says detect a mask. So if the user is not wearing a mask, the kiosk will still take their temperature. It will still log an event, but it will essentially say not admitted. Please wear a mask, as the voiceover has done. So yeah, so mask mode just essentially forces the user to put a mask on before it will admit them. All right, so let's see. So that was the last question. I'll give it another 15, 20 seconds. Maybe we got a slow typer out there. And then if no more questions, we'll conclude today's session. So I'll just give you a few more seconds. All right, we got another question. Let's see here. Confidential security measures to protect cloud data. First one would be, of course, don't share your password with anybody. Keep your password secure. Lock your workstation, etc. The hosted solutions, we do have documentation. If you're speaking with a sales representative, they can provide that information to you, for you. If they don't have it, they will be able to get it, and then they will be able to provide that to you. It is a secure hosting solution, and we do have documentation outlining the details on that. Am I required to be in front of the kiosk during onboarding? I have kiosks in 2 separate locations. We would recommend that you have at least one kiosk handy when you go through the onboarding. It's just like anything. It's going to be a lot. You wouldn't ask a friend to drive a car and then say, well, tell me how fast it goes. Things like that. That's not the best example, but essentially if you have the kiosk handy, especially going through updates or troubleshooting or anything like that, having physical hands-on access to the kiosk is recommended. Is there a configurable noise alert for a failed temperature? Yes, it will. There's an alarm and there's a vocal prompt. So the one is abnormal temperature, and then the other one would just be like sounds like a dinging. My unit's in an update mode right now, so I can't give you that audible example or sample. But yes, so there's a vocal alarm and there is a like a dinging, ringing bell. All those, of course, you can either keep on, you can turn off, etc. At your will. All right, let's see. So I'll give it a few more seconds here because we had a couple of questions come in. Oh, we got another one. Thank you, very helpful. You are very welcome, Spencer. That's what we're here for. By all means, check out the FAQs, the resources, the videos, past webinars. I try to keep it pretty much the same. The only differences are the questions you guys answer. But you guys had some great, insightful questions. I can tell you guys have been doing some research, or you've at least been paying attention to me. That makes me feel a little bit better inside. But yes, for sure, if you have any questions, if you guys need anything at all, reach out to your distribution, your software distributor, your reseller, whomever you're doing business with here at Meridian directly. We'll be happy to answer questions, get you up to speed, up to snuff on what you might be curious about, what it can do, what it can't do, etc. And we'll get you sorted out. Thank you. Yep, Harold, you're very welcome. Glad to be on the webinar. I've seen you come back. It's excellent. So that's another happy customer out there. Okay, so yep, you reach out once your schedule, your onboarding, once units are up to date. Perfect. Yep. You should have got if you've already got your onboarding email and all that information, or if you've just purchased an onboarding package, there's some documentation in there, of course, that will for sure walk you through getting everything set up. You should, like I said, out the box, be able to go through it. If you encounter any issues, of course, that's what that onboarding package is for. Or if you just want someone to go through it with you, onboarding. That's what we're here for. We want you to get set up, get using it, and then, as the song goes, send you on your way. Peter, yep, you're very welcome, Peter. I'm glad to assist. You guys got some great questions today. All right, well, we got 45 minutes slotted out for it. That's close enough for it. I'll give you one more chance to put some questions in there. We'll see if anybody's got any more questions. All right. Let's look again. Oh, thanks again. Yep, Jose, you're very welcome. It is my pleasure. By all means, I am happy to answer any questions. All right. Well, crew, I thank you for tuning in and joining us today. We'll be back next week, which is the 7th. Isn't that bad that I have to look at a calendar to know what a week from today is? It's September. I can't remember. It's 30 days has September, something like that. Anyway, you know how to join. Same time, same station. Next week, I'll be your host, and looking forward to seeing some of you guys again, answering any questions. As always, it's my pleasure. I'm feeling the love today from you guys. Y'all have a great rest of the day, and if I don't talk to you before then, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week. Y'all have a great day.